要去买电脑了，然后再去利奥的办公室。
This clock tells time in so many ways. I can't wait to tell Ned that I'm actually here.
绕个箱。手机壳音响。
Hello, what can I do for you?
That obvious I speak English?
I guessed right. I also guess you need some tech?
I do.
You either wanted that, my school notes, or a puppet, so... I am Elka. What can I get you?
I'm Nancy Drew. It's nice to meet you, Elka. Do you have a small laptop? Something with lots of storage space, nothing fancy.
Yes, of course. I have one secondhand that I wiped clean myself.
That sounds perfect.
Almost perfect. It is missing a charger, but you should be able to find one at an internet cafe.
I know a place.
Good.
You can't mention a puppet and not explain why.
My grandfather. He works on the collectibles side of Apparat. He fixes, among other gadgets and junk, puppets and marionettes.
Junk? You must not care for his work much.
Oh, I love him, of course. But don't tell him I called his work junk. And especially don't tell Radek.
Who is Radek?
Ah, you have not been to the Marionette Theater. Radek is a boy with floppy hair and a cute smile who puts on puppet shows for kids and tourists.
A cute smile?
You will not tell him I said so.
Of course not.
My grandfather fixes his marionettes whenever they fall apart, which is often. I never know what to say to him.
Hello is a start.
Radek always seems so preoccupied. Who knew puppetry was so stressful?
So, you are still in school. What are you studying?
Yes, I'm studying computer science with a focus on cybersecurity.
Impressive. Why cybersecurity?
No matter how tech literate you are, you can never be too careful on the internet these days.
Sounds like you have a reason to be cautious. Have you had any cybersecurity issues yourself?
Some believe that local hackers have been harassing government sites, but I am not the government, so I don't care.
Who do you think the hackers are?
Students, perhaps.
Thank you for the laptop.
Feel free to return here if you have any troubles with it. And do let me know if you see Radek's show.
Thank you. I will. See you.
刚才最后跟我说，如果碰到拉德克的节目，要告诉他一下。
Dobry den.
Dobry day.
Dobry den. I hope it's all right if we speak in English.
Yes, it is okay.
I see you are quite the artisan and collector. I found this iron key. Can you tell me what it's for?
It's one of the 7 keys of Prague.
The 7 keys of Prague.
Ah, if you don't know, I shouldn't tell you.
Now I have to know.
Let me see the key. You found it where?
In an old book in the Hungerkünstler Cafe.
We Czechs have many legends. The legend of the 7 keys is one every Czech child learns. Even you can learn about it at the marionette show in the square. When you come back, I will tell you what I learned from it. No charge.
Thank you. Helka was right. You don't have any computers I can use.
Computers belong to her side of the shop.
What do you focus on?
Anything that needs fixing. From the time when craft mattered.
What kind of crafts?
Things that require skills handed down through generations. And a few trinkets.
Does Elka run the shop?
She would like to think so. I tell her to go study, but she does not listen. She works too hard like her mother.
Does her mother work here too?
Her mother passed some time ago.
I'm sorry.
We do all right.
I should get going.
Yeah, come back sometime.
Je to připravené?
Not ready yet, Radek.
这不就是
Still no
拉
word
德
on
克
Papa
吗？
12?
I was just leaving.
Oh, are you a tourist?
I suppose I am.
Then please come to my marionette show this afternoon. I'm sorry, I should introduce myself. I'm Radek Napovin,
Oh, I'm Nancy Drew.
and I'm a master puppeteer. Normally, I work hard to keep the old traditions alive. When you come, you will see Prague's history come to life. I promise.
Sounds interesting. I look forward to being there.
And I will see you at the theater.
剧场。是不是应该告诉那女孩一下？
Hello. Hello.
哎，不需要。 回去。
That's done. Still have to do that. I'm not done with that yet.
这是他办公室。这应该是个谜题吧？去喝咖啡了。啊，哦，这儿。
Still have to do that. Not available. I'll track down a different lead.
走了，先去研究电脑去。
Prosim? Ah, I thought you wanted something.
要用这个桌子上，我记得有个电源。哎，不对。这的不对。
Still have to do that. Can't check that off yet. Oh, I don't mean to interrupt.
You came! Except, I'm sorry, I may not have a show for you or the fans. My assistant couldn't come today. The puppets don't operate themselves.
Well, that would be disappointing. Is there something I can help with?
Yeah, there's a lot to do. The stage has to be set up. The marionettes need their costumes. No, I couldn't ask you, but, well, will you?
How much time do we have? We'd better get started.
I mean, what? Wait, you're serious? That's great! The show must go on.
嗯，哦，
Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. 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 Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off.
Oh, 这底下还有的。
This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Interesting interpretation. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation.
我难住了。
Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting
这才叫对，
interpretation.
绿色的是对的。
I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes,
这个对。
his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I don't think Radek would appreciate. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Interesting interpretation. Interesting interpretation. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off.
这怎么玩啊？
2,000 years later.
This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Great! Let's do it! This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite... Now, this scene doesn't go something like this. It goes exactly like this. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Great, let's do it. All right, let's go. Great, we did it. This would be fun to do again.
好麻烦。
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world. Today, you will see the magic of the theater and relive the time when the world stage was made for the marionettes. See one of the oldest art forms come to life. Gather round and experience the wonder and mystery of kings, keys, and the secrets of the Royal Bohemian Crown Jewels.
Good day to all of you. I am King Maria Theresa. Yes, I'm a king. Have you seen my beautiful crown?
Ahem, yes, it must be known that this royal is the only woman to hold the position in her own right.
You see, even in the decree, it wasn't easy to be recognized and crowned a ruler as a woman.
And yet, you were crowned and wore this special coronation crown thanks to His Highness, the Holy Roman Emperor, King of Bohemia, Charles IV.
Stop! That is my crown!
The king who led the building of the St. Vitus Cathedral?
Yes,
The king who built the Charles Bridge?
the same. And I commissioned that crown. It has become the symbol of the people, and it has been decreed that only the true king could wear it and hold the crown jewels.
Oh, you did so much more.
Well, you could go on and on. I'm flattered. But yes, you see, that crown truly belongs to me.
Not anymore. Now it belongs to...
Me! Hello! I, King Rudolph II, do in fact deserve the crown.
You deserve the crown? Why?
Well, I brought Proc into the Renaissance. We learned to read the stars, and I made Proc the center of discovery, with alchemy labs throughout the castle and...
Excuse me, O King, but I do see here that you did spend a great deal of time and money on those mysterious, mystical experiments.
Yes, there is that. But I put Prague on the map.
That's nice, but how did all that help the people?
Help the people?
Ha! Does that sound like someone who deserves the crown?
Wait, no, my crown!
The story goes that rulers and wars would come and go, and the crown jewels were scattered to many different places.
Until the Czech estates demanded that the king bring the crown jewels back to Prague.
Exactly right. They belong to the people.
Who are you?
I am your son, King Leopold II. I brought the crown jewels home. Then, I commissioned a case to keep them safe. My royal keymaker created 7 very special keys. At your service, the 7 keys to lock it up. And I gave those keys to 7 specially appointed people who could only unlock the case together.
You were right. The crown doesn't belong to anyone but the Czech people.
Here, Your Grace, the keys. And the crown jewels have been safe in Prague ever since.
Thank you for coming to our show. And thank you to my assistant, Nancy Drew.
一段很长的木偶剧。
Whew, you saved the day. No, seriously, thank you. Thank you so much for your help. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Happy to help.
I hoped you liked the show. You, sort of seem like you might have some questions about the legends and hidden mysteries of Prague. Well, I'd be happy to answer them.
How did you know? Is the story a legend?
Okay, so what's awesome is that many of the tales that I base my marionette shows on are actual famous legends. And in this story, the legend is a true one. See, old King Leopold did bring the crown jewels back to Prague to be kept in the castle. But they're not there anymore.
Where are they?
I took them.
You would be quite a thief if you managed that.
And if I were a thief, I would be quite a thief. But for now, the crown jewels are safe inside St. Vitus Cathedral, forever protected under Vault and 7 keys.
Who holds the 7 keys now?
Nowadays, only the most important people, the president, the lord mayor, the dean of St. Vitus, and so on. You get the picture. The guards no longer hold the keys. No movie stars, football players, or puppeteers, sadly.
What happens when they want to open the vault?
All of the key holders must come together. So they say.
So no one could steal each key and open the vault?
Do you think it would be that easy?
It could be. That's what worries me.
Come now. They've been safe for hundreds of years.
It seems like you care a lot about the puppets. Why do you put on shows every day?
Actually, marionettes. Do you know the difference? No, you're good if you do. It's just that I work with marionettes for fame and fortune, of course.
Seriously?
I am serious. I would have to be. You just experienced what skill is needed to keep things untangled.
I did. It's a lot harder than it looks. Why do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, if I don't, who will? Look around you. We sell our heritage and people know so little of the real history. For centuries, marionette shows have kept our Czech language and culture alive. And okay, this may sound nuts, but I think if people know, they'll care.
It's really admirable of you to work so hard to keep your family and your country's traditions alive.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy talking to people like you who show genuine interest. You know, and the children, they at least are entertaining.
That they are. Your accent sounds very American. Have you spent time there?
No, I've learned many languages during my acting career. But it is amazing what you can pick up from playing games and watching television in other languages.
OK，
I learned a lot.
There's always more to learn if you want to come by again tomorrow. If my assistant doesn't show up again, maybe you would be interested in some extra work while you're in town? Never mind. Just, well, thanks.
If I have time, I will, thanks. Elka recommended your show to me. I'll have to let her know I enjoyed it.
哦，我得找她一下。
Thanks? She's like a kid sister to me.
Oh, good to know.
OK， 得凑齐7把钥匙才能打开金库。
Check.
我们先找一下那个给我们电脑那个人，把这个木偶剧的事儿告诉他。
Hello.
呀，不理我吗？老板不在了。进不去，我们可以用有没有快速移动？
Can't check that. I'm not done with that. Still have to do that.
没有快速移动。刚才提示让我找他来了，结果说不了话。回去吧。
The Dean is not available.
Why are you here?
I am the assistant to the Dean. My career isn't quite as stagnant as some.
Onsem notsem luit.
Really? First I've heard of it.
I am the director of the gym's exhibit. We have important matters to discuss.
Oh, and he would be happy to meet with you, Mr. Dvorak, once he returns from his trip.
That is not soon enough.
His schedule is very tight, but I will see what I can do to fit you in before he leaves. And I do look forward to speaking to you then.
Just stay out of my way. You will regret delaying our meeting.
哎，这有监控的。
That's done. Can't check that off yet.
充电得去咖啡馆，这个打不开啊。